As we proceed, shalom, shalom, family, shalom, shalom, family. As we proceed, give you what you need. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. All right, let's get it in. How's everybody doing? Shalom, Yair Ben Dawoodi, EJ Mitchell, shalom to you. Slow flow to God, I see you. Sean Williams, shalom. Yakolia Gems, I see you. Micaiah Yisrael, I see you. Yosef Ben Yisrael, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Gabriel. Family, can we get some thumbs up on the video? Can we get some thumbs up on the video, family? Can we share? Can we distribute the video? We're about to get it in. I haven't gone live in a couple of days. Been adding some new additions. I'm also moving soon. So I haven't been live in a couple of days because there's just a lot going on my end. Anybody here live in Florida? Who here right now lives in Florida? Anybody right now live in Florida? Who live in Florida? What part of Florida you at? You got a new neighbor. You got a new neighbor. I'm sure New York's penal system is happy that I'm leaving. I'm playing. I'm sure the New York court system is happy that I'm leaving. I'm playing. I'm sure these busters in New York is happy that I'm leaving. I'm playing. But to people in Florida, everybody in Florida, you got a new neighbor, family. You got a new neighbor. You got a new neighbor. And just so y'all know, I ain't coming to act right. I just want to let that be known now. I'm not coming to act right. All right, I'm not coming to act right. Cause I heard this time I could get them things legally. Uh-oh. Cause I heard this time I could get them things legally. Uh-oh. In New York, we got to do a whole, that's another story. But in Florida, I heard you could get them things legally. I can't wait to take advantage of that. Peace and love to everybody. Share the live family. Thumb up the video. We about to get it in. Thumb up the video, family. We about to get it in. There's a lot that I want to share with you guys as it pertains to these museum tours, man. They was telling us at one point that the Hebrews can't come into museums. The Hebrews don't know artifacts. The Hebrews don't deal with logic. We don't deal with facts. Huh? They say you won't find no Hebrews in the museums. I say, yeah. All right, check this out. Not only we in the museum, but we're gonna lead the museum tours. So if you've been following my work, you should know that for the last 3 years straight, I've been doing museum tours, right? Mostly in New York. I did a couple in Philly at Penn University, and I did one in Chicago at the Oriental Institute in Chicago. But I've been doing museums for 3 years straight here in New York City. That's a fact. That's a fact for 3 years straight. So there's a lot of information that I've learned in these museums. And if y'all been following these videos that I've been publishing and putting online, you should have heard Brother Sarnetta say Zion Lex did slightly better than Brother Jabari in the museums. Now, come on, y'all. I want y'all to just use some common sense. Sarnetta, no matter what, nobody should be offended by this. He's always going to be Team Kemet. You think if I did slightly better than Jabari, he would admit that? Hell no. He would just say Zion Lex did good. So you know I did way better than Jabari, and he's just going to say slightly. Just like he's going to give me an 8 in a museum tour, yet admit I taught him things in a museum tour he never learned from anybody else. That sounds like a 10. So, I'm not mad at it because I understand that, Brother Sarnetta is old school, and old school people, they stick with their teams. No matter how much the Knicks is losing, they're going to be diehard Knicks fans. Right now, Team Kemet getting their ass handed to them by Zion Lex. And Sarnetta is not giving up on them Knicks, boy. Shout out to Brother Sarnetta, though. So not only have we been going into these museums and showing and proving our stance, but we even inviting y'all teachers, the Kemetic teachers, come around the museum with us. Walk around the museum with me. Come get this work. because y'all been talking a lot for a long time. Oh my God, the Bible's not real, and the Bible's truth can't be quantified. No Hebrews in the museum. Zion Lex in the museum. All of a sudden, why is he on my tour? Zion Lex in the museum. All of a sudden, what are Hebrews even doing in the museum? Zion is all up in Egypt reading the Metal Netra. Why is a Hebrew in the museum? Oh, y'all big mad. Y'all big mad. Because isn't this what y'all call for? My mama said a long time ago, be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. Be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. And just so we clear, that's the kind of personality I am. Don't anybody can tell you that know me. Do not challenge this guy. This guy lives for challenges. I'm gonna say that again. Anybody that grew up with me, that knows me, can tell you, do not challenge this guy. He lives for challenges. Literally lives for challenges. Do not challenge him. And my mama would say, be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. All right. So with that being said, family, I hope you guys been enjoying the museum tours. If there's anybody in the tri-state area, I'm doing a museum tour this Sunday at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The admission is $25 and children are free. The admission is $25 and children are free. All right. That's this Sunday at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. All right. The admission is $25. Children are absolutely free. And by children, I mean anybody under 18, right? We ain't going to keep it crazy. I'm not going to say 12 and younger free. Nah, anybody under 18 is free. That's how we're going to keep it. All right. So you can bring your big kids out. You can bring your big kids out. Anybody under 18 is free. $25 admission. We're meeting up at 12:30 p.m. in front of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, located on 1005th Avenue, New York, New York, in Manhattan. And I could tell y'all right now, as you probably could tell, boy, you in for a treat. Boy, you in for a treat, because we definitely give out that work. Shout out and shalom to my Ak. I see you, Gadal Ben Yehuda. I see you, Aki. Shout out and shalom to you, man. I see you. I see you. Yeah, so we getting it in, man. We getting it in. Hit that like button, family. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, I'm about to point some things out to you guys that I think is just ridiculous. I'll point some things out to y'all that I think is just ridiculous within the Kemetic community. Some of the things that they say foolishly, right? I'm a give and drop some of that work right now. All right, I'm gonna give and drop some of that work right now. Where we gonna start? Let's start real quick. Let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. Let me pull something up for you. Let's go right to YouTube. Let's go right to YouTube and let's look at this museum tour that we did. Let's look at this museum tour that we did. Just give me a couple seconds to pull that up, y'all. As soon as I have it live, I'm gonna show you. As soon as I have it live, I'm gonna show you. All right, I muted the volume on that. Let me see where we need to be. Bum, bum, bum. All right, bam. This is where I want to show y'all. This is what I want to show y'all. All right, this is what I want to show y'all. All right. Let me now go right back. Don't forget, family, to thumb up the video and share it live. Don't forget, family, to thumb up the video and share it live, because, like I said, we're about to get it in. So don't forget to thumb up the video and share the live, because we're about to get it in. All right. Here we go. Hit that like button, family. Smash that like button, family. Hit that like button, family. Smash that like button, family. As we about to get it in. As we are about to get it in. What the hell going on? Come on. All right. Anybody remember this part of the museum tour where back it up a little bit. So if you guys was watching the museum tour, you should have noticed that I walked into a room, which is essentially and basically the Near Eastern room. And when I walked into the Near Eastern slash Bible room, Sonetta definitely was on his, P's and Q's with his camera. Shout out to Sonetta. He covered some amazing things. This right here is the Temple of Inanna. Does everyone see where my pointer is on the screen? Does everyone see where my pointer is on the screen? This right here, where you see my hand at, that is literally the Temple of Inanna. That's the Temple of Inanna. By a show of ones, how many people remember when Dr. Reggie was on this tour? And Dr. Reggie said that there is no respect for women in the Mesopotamian slash Abrahamic cultures. It's only in Africa that we can see women being venerated, that we can see women being shown great respect or high volume of respect. That does not exist in Mesopotamia. To which, shout out to you, brother Joseph. I got your donation. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. To which I walked the brother over to the Temple of Inanna. And brother Reggie made some very silly comments. I'm gonna try to be nice because that's an elder and I do respect him. But he did make some silly comments. But the first thing I want you guys to know is simply this. What you're looking at right here is the Temple of Inanna. You're looking at the Temple of Inanna. All right? You're looking at the Temple of Inanna. Does anyone know who Inanna is? Write it in the chat room. Who is Inanna? Somebody tell me who is Inanna. I dropped this information the last time that I was in the museum, and I just want to see how many people was watching the tour. So put in the chat room, family, who is Inanna? Somebody tell us, who is Inanna? Who is Inanna, family? Somebody tell us, who is Inanna? Who is Inanna? This should be like this, family. Bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3. Nobody should know Near Eastern culture like the people of Near Eastern culture, right? That's our region. That's our sphere. She's the mother goddess of Sumer. There you go, Yakolia. She's the mother goddess of Sumer. Now, that's not something that we were supposed to worship. No, that's a fact. But what you need to know is that your ancestors had a mother goddess. And I know there's somebody in here right now that's doubting me. The hell Zion talking about our ancestors had a mother goddess. Watch this. Let me prove it to you. I'm gonna take you to the book of Joshua real quick. Because I know somebody in here is thinking right now, it never fails with Israelites. It never fails with Israelites. Somebody right here is thinking, this dude don't know what the hell he talking about. Our ancestors ain't served no mother goddess. Clearly, y'all don't read no book. Clearly, you don't read enough of the book you say you believe in. Just know before I make a statement, I think it out very thoroughly. I don't just speak out of my mouth, unlike a lot of people. Unlike a lot of people, I don't just speak out of my mouth, out the side of my mouth. The things that I say come from a lot of thought. You could tell it's well thought out. No freestyling over here. All right. Let me just make sure everybody's on point. Let's see where we at. All right. So it looks like everybody could see this. Looks like everybody could see this. So watch this. Watch this. We're in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 1, which says, hallelujah. Joshua assembled all the tribes of Israel at Shechem. He summoned Israel's elders and commanders, judges and officers, and presented themselves before God. So Joshua assembled all of the people, essentially, those in position of authority and power. And they assembled themselves, it says, before God. And look at what it says in the next verse. And Joshua said to all the people, I hope everybody's watching, thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, in olden times, your fathers, Terach, the father of Abraham and the father of Nahor, they lived beyond the Euphrates and they worshiped other gods. I'm going to read that last part again. In old times, in the ancient days, your forefathers, Terach, the father of Abraham and the father of Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates and worshipped their other gods. Duh. Why Zion Lex always goes into Sumerian culture and talks about the gods? That's not the God of Israel. Why is Zion Lex doing that? I don't know why any Israelite would even ask that question. I don't know why any Israelite, I could see why the conscious community would ask that question because they're ignorant of the Bible. But when an Israelite asks me that question, I'm like, what the hell? Like, damn, we got to do more reading, man. We really do. We got to do more reading, man. Most Israelites is doing Deuteronomy 28:68, a couple of Psalms, reading a little bit in the book of Kings, and going straight to Isaiah for prophecy about the Messiah. And it shows in the way that they talk because it seems like they don't know nothing else in the book. It shows when they talk because it seems they don't know nothing else in the book. By the way, let me show you the Israelite starter kit. Let me show y'all real quick what I call the Israelite starter kit. All right, this is the Israelite starter kit right here. All right, this is the Israelite starter kit. Let me make my screen a little bigger because I want you guys to see this. All right, this right here is the Israelite starter kit. Let me tell you what how most Israelites study. And y'all know I'm not lying. So put some fire emojis in the room if you know what I'm saying is the real deal as I introduce you to the Israelite starter kit. Unfortunately, I don't have a King James Bible because I don't study with the King James Bible. But let's just say for a moment that this represented the King James Bible. So this is the beginning of the Israelite starter kit. Then what's the next book every Israelite got? From Babylon to Timbuktu. From Babylon to Timbuktu. Then what's the grand finale in the Israelite library? Arthur Koestler, the 13th tribe. But hold on. I got you. But hold on. I got you. Because if you're more studious as an Israelite, if you're more I got you. If you're more, or if you're one of the more studious Israelites, you probably go out and get yourself a Ben Yehuda Hebrew English dictionary, right? You go out and get yourself a Ben Yehuda Hebrew English dictionary. All right, you go out and get yourself a Ben Yehuda Hebrew English dictionary. This is part of the Israelite starter kit. And if you're not online, You probably got this: the Brown Driver's Hebrew English Lexicon, the Strong's Concordance. You got yourself a nice, thick, strong concordance. All right, got yourself a nice, thick, strong concordance. And look at my brother; he know I'm keeping it all the way real. What Goodall said, those really were my first 4 books when I came into the truth 6 years ago. Still got them too. Listen, guys, y'all should be throwing some fire emojis in the room because y'all know I'm not over here lying. You know I'm keeping it real. Shout out to the brother Gadal Ben Yehuda for keeping it absolutely real because he says those really are my first 4 books when I came into the truth 6 years ago, and I still got them too. This is a fact. The Israelite Starter Kit is the King James Bible, even though this is not a King James Bible. And unfortunately, I don't have a King James Bible. But I probably will be getting it sometime soon. Just for the sake of teaching purposes, I probably will be getting it sometime soon. But this would represent, let's say, the King James Bible, right? Then you got From Babylon to Timbuktu, right? Then you got the 13th tribe, Arthur Koestler, right? And if you're a little better than that, you went out and you got yourself the Ben Yehuda's English Hebrew Dictionary. You bad now. And the Brown Driver's Dictionary. Now, I'm not sure if y'all can see my background. I'm not sure if y'all can see my background. Let me take away my screen. Does everybody see this level? If you can see this level of my hand on the bookshelf, type a 1. If you can see this level of the bookshelf, type a 1. All right. Just so y'all know, that's the 3rd level up. There's 2 more below. There's 2 more below, right? Look at my hand here. There's 2 more below. Look, if I go to the level below, there's books there, right? I'm not going to move my camera because I think if I move my camera, it'll throw out the footage on YouTube. You won't be able to see. But just know there's a bookshelf here, and there's a smaller bookshelf right there. And to prove to you there's a smaller bookshelf right there, as you probably can see, this is my hand. I'm going to the bookshelf here, and you're going to see me grab like 3 books. All right. So you guys can't see, but I got bookshelves upon bookshelves upon bookshelves. So what am I saying to inspire the community? What am I saying to inspire the communities? And I know, again, because some people are just really twisted in their thinking, oh, this dude's showing off. He got all them books. Always somebody with a low vibration misinterpreting somebody's intentions. There's always somebody with a low vibration misinterpreting someone's intentions. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that it's inspirational to somebody. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that somebody's sitting there asking themselves, and my email is a testimony of this, Zion Lex, what are your study tools? I got way more than the Israelite Starter Kit. And I've had this for well over 25 years, right? I'm 2 years shy of approaching 30 years in this way of life. I'm 2 years shy of approaching 30 years in this way of life. And I've been studying and keeping books for a very, very long time. So I'm saying that to say, family, we got to read, we got to study. That's right. Shout out to you, Seeking God Films. We got to read and we got to study, y'all. We got to read. Oh, my brother said the Apocrypha. You ain't lying. Where's the Apocrypha up here? You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Now, I don't got the Apocrypha everybody got. Mine is a little bit more updated, but this is the complete Apocrypha. This is the complete Apocrypha, right? This is the complete Apocrypha. Mine includes Enoch, Jasher, Jubilees, and a couple of more things. Enoch, Jasher, Jubilee, and a couple of more things. All right. I think somebody said, where's Josephus? Hold on. I think somebody said, "Hey, what about Josephus?" So I got Josephus here too. I got Josephus here too. The complete works of Josephus, and as you can see, it's a thick book, boy. The complete works of Josephus. All right, the complete works of Josephus. All right. So having said that, the Israelite International Chauvinist Patriarchy. Wait, what? The Israelite International Chauvinist Patriarchy said, "What do you mean low vibration? You really want me to explain what low vibration means?" Okay. Low vibration, by low vibration, I mean anybody that is very simplistic in their thinking and in their speech, that gives little thought to the words that leave their mouth before they leave their mouth, right? Usually you should consider in thought the things you're going to say before you say it. People who are operating on a much lower vibration, they don't think things out before they say it. They just open their mouth. Kind of similar to what you might be doing right now. And if you're offended, I'm going to tell you right now, be very offended because I didn't even get started yet. If you're offended, I'm going to tell you right now, be very offended because I didn't even get started yet. I'm going to just keep it real with you. I'm not the type of Israelite that bites their tongue. So you come on here trying to show me up, say something crazy, just know I'm with all the smoke. And just know I keep the same energy in person too. It is what it is. And if you offended, feel very offended because I didn't even get started yet. Facts. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, moving on. What the dude said, I got heat for dudes like you, cuz. All right, moving on. What I was trying to show you guys essentially, right? What I'm trying to show you guys essentially is that what's so important about talking about the mother goddess concept in ancient Mesopotamia, one of the things that's so important in talking about the mother goddess concept in ancient Mesopotamia is to know from whence your ancestors came from. Is to know from whence your ancestors came from. Remember what the Torah tells us. The Torah tells us that your fathers served other gods on other side of the river Euphrates. The Torah says your forefathers served other gods on the other side of the river Euphrates. Literally, that's mentioned right in scripture, y'all, that your forefathers served other gods on the other side of the river Euphrates. All right. So, in me mentioning in this tour, talking about Inanna, sometimes Israelites don't understand because of the low vibrational thought in our community, right? I don't know how to deal with ignorant questions, y'all. I don't. I'm a teacher, but I also don't play. Facts. Right? I'm a teacher, but I don't play. And I could, I'm intelligent enough to know when somebody is trying to, be slick with you, trying to be rude with you. So I don't wait for you to confirm it. I go right in. I don't wait for you to confirm it. I go right in. And usually I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I always come back and apologize. But I'm a different type of teacher. This channel right here, this YouTube channel, Zion Lex TV, it ain't for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that right now. It is not for the faint of heart. I will go in on you. It is not for the faint of heart. Have some tough skin, boy. I got tough skin. The whole community comes at me. So don't get tight if I got some words for you. All right. Having said that, y'all, let me get back to what I'm really trying to get to. So in this video, you'll notice that I'm talking about the mother goddess concept, right? All right. The mother goddess concept originates not in Egypt, guys. It originates in ancient Mesopotamia. It originates not in Egypt, guys. It originates in Mesopotamia. It originates in Mesopotamia. All right. It does not originate in Egypt. So when Brother Reggie went throughout the museum tour, he was obviously throwing shade at the Bible. The patriarchs of the Bible, they're chauvinistic. They don't respect women, blah, 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 blah. Right. Having said that, the first thing that I noticed, or that I wanted to note, or that I wanted to point out, is that his scholarship is faulty. Because if you really studied Near Eastern culture, you would know that that is the origin of what we describe as the mother goddess concept, right? The origin of what we describe as the mother goddess concept is literally right in Mesopotamia, right in Mesopotamia. And the verse that I quoted for you guys proved and showed to you that our forefathers worshipped other gods in the river Euphrates. So our forefathers were into these different things, right? And I think it's very significant to point this out. Very significant to point this out. Also, let's watch the video for a little bit so you can see this. All right, there you go. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit of the video, y'all, because I want you to hear what I'm saying in the video. So here we go. First letter in the Hebrew word El, for God. The temple of Inanna. So okay. You're gonna love this. I held back with Reggie. I didn't want to do it to him, but I'm gonna give it for you. Inanna is the mother goddess of ancient Mesopotamia. Inanna is worshipped as early as 3500 BC by the Mesopotamians. The term Inanna literally translates as mother goddess. All right. If everybody could see where I paused the screen, we're standing right now in the museum in front of what is called the Temple of Inanna. In front of what is called the Temple of Inanna. And you see a standing female worshiper. When I was in the museum a couple of weeks ago with Brother Reggie said, so this is what you want to say is yours, Zion Lex? This is what you want to claim? He said, I want to let you know right now, that woman is not an African. Dagger. Done. And he walked away. And I started laughing. And I said, Sonata, come back. And Sonata said, I can't. It's his tour. I was calling Sonata back to look at the woman once again so that I could pull out my phone and embarrass Brother Reggie. But I'm going to give it to you guys right now. Does everyone see the picture of the standing woman here? Can everybody see this picture? Matter of fact, I'm going to make my screen entirely big, so you guys can see perfectly everything on the screen. Is that better? Does everybody see? Type of 1. Now remember Brother Reggie's comment. Brother Reggie said that this woman is not an African and we shouldn't want to claim her. The year is 3500 BC, family. And let me just remind you guys something. Most of you say you have Indian in your family. And that's true. Like you can look back in your lineage and you can see at some time you have what we call here today a native or a Native American in your genealogy, in your gene pool. In the Caribbean, we have it. And here in America, we have it. A lot of people say that their grandmother's grandmother was an Indian woman, or their grandmother's or grandfather's grandfather was an Indian man. If anybody can co-sign what I'm saying is true, put some fire emojis in the room. If you know for a fact your mother or your father told you that your grandmother or your great-grandmother was a Native American or an Indian. I'm gonna first be the first one to say me. I'm gonna put the first fire in there or the second fire in there. I'm gonna say me. Because I know for a fact that my grandmother, my great grandmother is what people would call today a Native American. That's a fact. And a lot of y'all, especially those of y'all that have roots in the South, you can say the same thing. And a lot of your parents told you that. So watch the common sense in what I'm trying to bring out. Don't think, guys, and don't expect that your ancestors and your ancestral tree to look exactly like we do today. Because let me just give you some examples. Watch. When I teach, guys, I teach with wisdom. Something that a lot of people lack. Something that a lot of people lack. Let me show you guys something. Now watch this. The picture that I'm showing you guys right here is of the Hyksos, which represents some of the earliest Hebrew tribes coming into Egypt. This represents the look of our Semitic ancestors. I want everybody to look. This represents the look of our earliest Semitic ancestors. And I want you to notice that a lot of you don't even share the same phenotype. The thing we most have in common with them is our complexion. If you're really paying attention to what I'm demonstrating before you guys, I'm showing and proving to you how the look of people changes throughout the ages. Remember, your look will vary based upon your environment. Your look will vary based upon your environment. That is an absolute fact. Don't expect that all of your ancestors in the past would look like your family pictures today in your house. If you do so, you're bugging. Now let me go to Egypt and prove the same thing to you. Watch this. I'll pull up a picture right now of ancient Egyptians and how they looked. And watch this. Okay. Now, Brother Jabari says, these are our African ancestors. I want everybody to look at this woman. Brother Jabari says, these are our African ancestors, but I want everybody to look at this woman. I want you to ask yourself one question, and only one question. Do she look like Winnie Mandela? Do she look like Sister Betty Shabazz? Do she look like Maya Angelou? She is a black woman. She is an African black woman, but she looks nothing like our West African diaspora. She looks nothing like our West African diaspora. Neither does he. Neither does he. So notice that even in Egypt, the ancestors do not look like the West African diaspora. Now, don't think I'm done there, because I didn't drop the dagger yet. Don't think I'm done yet, guys, because I didn't drop the dagger yet. Y'all ready for the dagger? In my museum tour, or excuse me, in Brother Reggie's museum tour. Matter of fact, let's play Brother Reggie's museum tour really quick. Let's play Brother Reggie's museum tour really quick. By the way, shout out to Kwame Brown, giving everybody that work. Shout out to Kwame Brown, giving everybody that work. Dude is ethering people left and right. Dude is ethering people left and right. All right, let me show y'all Dr. Reggie's tour. Shout out to Saber Reggie. Shout out to Dr. Reggie. Is it on Sonnet Studios or is it on Black News 102? I'll tell you in a moment. It's on. All right. Oh, it's right here. All right. It's right here. Smash that like button, family. Smash that like button, family. Hit that subscribe button. Right behind her hands. Smash that like button, family, and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button, family, and hit that subscribe button. Let me show you something. All right, we're embarking on Dr. Reggie's tour, and let me take you to the part of Reggie's tour where, matter of fact, I think it's Black News 102. Let me go to Black News 102 because that's where Sonetta has a full video. By the way, somebody hit up Sonetta and remind him to put up the full video of my video tour because there's items that I talked about that Sonetta skipped over in the live. So somebody hit Brother Sonetta up and just remind our brother to put the full video up so that we can see the video in its entirety without the commentary. So we can see the video in its entirety without the commentary. Shout out to Brother Sonetta. All right. Brother Reggie, in his museum tour, he goes to Egypt, to the pre-dynastic part of Egypt, and I want you to listen to what he says about a particular area within Egypt. I want you to listen to what he says. Watch this. Because he says something in that tour that's highly significant. He said something in that tour that's highly significant that if you're not paying attention, you miss something that was heavy. Watch this.
Right? You got to make that connection. So she's first, in another culture, she's a daughter. In the Naqada culture that predates Egypt, right?
Everybody hear that? He just said in Naqada culture, which predates ancient Egypt. Did everybody hear Brother Reggie just say that Naqada culture predates ancient Egypt? If you heard Brother Reggie say that, put a 1 in the room. If you heard Brother Reggie say that Naqada civilization predates ancient Egypt, type a 1 in the room. All right, let it play again.
Goddess.
Now, that's very important.
Right?
You got to make that connection. So
She's
first,
in another culture, she's a daughter. In the Naqada culture that predates Egypt, right? But is that dancing woman she is the chief goddess of the underworld and of the world. Her name is Ba. And then
and then the history.
There's the Falcon Horus, and then there's probably the Seth dog, right? They are writing, or they're marks connected to that writing at 3600, right? So I don't want to argue with the brother about what he was saying about the earliest text and all of that stuff, right? I don't want to argue.
Oh no, I didn't know.
I don't want to argue that point because on a woman's back is the first writing, right? And this from this is not Egypt. This is not Egypt. This is a civilization before Egypt. This is Naqada. This is Nubia.
Did everybody say that? Here, Brother Reggie say the civilization before Egypt is Naqada. Then he says Naqada is Nubia. Now, I'm going to challenge that, obviously, but the main thing I need you to know is that Brother Reggie agrees that the Naqada civilization is not the Egyptians. He agrees that the Naqada civilization is not the Egyptians.
Egypt gets its information, its early information, from Naqada. So now let's.
All right. Brother Reggie just said Egypt gets its early information from Naqada. Did everybody hear that loud and clear? Did everybody hear that loud and clear? Type of one in the room if you heard Brother Reggie say that loud and clear. Can't move on, family, till I know y'all following. All right, Brother Reggie said, Egypt gets its information from Naqada. Egypt gets its information from Naqada. Remember, when I showed Brother Reggie the temple of Inanna, he laughed because he saw this woman here. He laughed because he saw this woman here. I want everybody to get a good look at this woman here because I'm about to bust the conscious community in their head. And I'm going to need you guys to blow up this chat room with fire emojis when I let the gauntlet drop. Y'all should know I don't play. Y'all should know by now I do not play. Everybody see her nice and clear? If you can see her nice and clear, I just want a close up on her face. I want a close up on her face. And everybody see her nice and clear. Now, Brother Reggie said to you that she's a white woman. And I'm guessing that some of y'all are convinced too. But if you look at her phenotype minus her eyes, you would notice that she has a broad, big nose. You will also notice that she has broad, thick lips. Right or wrong? If this woman has a broad nose and thick lips, write yes in the chat room. If this woman has a broad, thick nose and thick lips, somebody write yes in the chat room. Now, I'm not done. I'm not done. Now, obviously, we all can see that her eyes are blue. Obviously, we all can see that her eyes are blue. And just so you guys know, this type of blue is called lapis lazuli. This type of blue is called lapis lazuli. And that's brought or exported from Iran, Afghanistan, and brought into Egypt and the Levant. That comes from Iran and Afghanistan and is brought into Egypt and the Levant. And they use this in Egypt and the Levant and in Mesopotamia as stylistic art. The blue eye is symbolic of divine information. It does not represent the eye color of the people. I'm going to say it again. The blue eye is symbolic of divine information, just like lapis lazuli in general was revered in the ancient world and represented the divine. Remember, guys, what color are you supposed to attach
to your fringes. What color, family, are you supposed to attach to your fringes? Let me make my screen a little smaller for a second so I could just do something for demonstrative purposes. What color, guys, are you supposed to attach to your fringes? Shouldn't it be blue? Shouldn't it be blue? Isn't the blue symbolic of the Creator's authority in the world? Isn't the blue symbolic of the divine authority of the Creator? That tekelet in the Bible? So watch this. Not enough people do this in the community because not enough people really study. But I study. So let me show you. Watch this work, guys. Watch me go to work. So you saw, and I'm going to get a close-up on her again. You saw that she has a broad nose and thick lips, and she has blue eyes. She has a broad nose and thick lips, and she has blue eyes. But because her sculpture is a white sculpture, right? Her sculpture is a white sculpture. Silly people like Reggie's going to tell you, with the blue eyes and the white color on the rock art, the rock sculpture, this got to be a European woman. Now watch me end the conscious community's foolishness with one picture. Watch me end the conscious community's stupidity with one picture. Remember, guys, I do this for real. I'm actually in the museums. I'm not faking the funk. What I'm typing in right now is called Naqada figurine. Remember, Brother Reggie said that the people of Naqada, before I do that, let me just do this really quick. Remember, family, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Brother Reggie said Naqada is before Egypt. This is where Egypt gets all of her information. Then he tried to tell you that Naqada is Nubia. Then he tried to tell you that the image that Zion Lex is showing everybody is European. The image that Zion Lex is showing everybody is European. So watch this. What I typed in just now is Naqada figurine, Egypt. Naqada figurine, Egypt. Let me make sure I got it. Give me a quick second. Give me a quick second to pull it up. All right, watch this. Naqada figurines, Egypt. And let me show you the look of the peoples of Naqada. Let me show you the look of the peoples of Naqada. Oh shit. Oh shit. What is this? What is this? Let me show you what the people of Naqada look like. What is this? Let me show you what the people of Naqada look like. Somebody tell me, what the hell is Reggie talking about? Somebody tell me, what the hell is Reggie talking about? Because if you look really closely, let me pull it up so you guys can see. If you look very closely, guys, you see the same thing. Do she look like anybody in the Israelite community? Do she look like, excuse me, let me get back. Does she look like anybody in the Israelite community? Does she look like, I told y'all don't play with me, right? Do she look like anybody in sub-Saharan Africa? Come on, y'all. This is the Naqada figurines. When you type in Nakada, figurines with an S and then Egypt, you get to see the same way that the people of Naqada represent their earliest patriarchs and matriarchs. You see them represented the same way that the Mesopotamians depict the earliest patriarchs and matriarchs. So somebody tell me, what the hell is Brother Reggie talking about? Common sense. Common sense. These people don't study. And that's the problem. These people, they literally, guys, do not study. And that's the problem. This is from Mesopotamia. This is a standing female worshiper standing in front of the temple of Inanna. Standing in front of the temple of Inanna. Right? This is a standing female worshiper standing in front of the temple of Inanna. This on this screen is this on this screen is, let me make sure I get it nice and big where you guys can see it. This on this screen is the same depiction, except this is from Naqada, Egypt. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm showing you. This is why you got to go to the museum. Guys, if this is a Nubian, type a 1 in the chat room. But if you know for a fact this ain't no goddamn Nubian, blow the chat room up right now with fire emojis. Because Reggie said the people of Naqada are Nubians. So why is it, Brother Reggie, that the people in Naqada, Egypt, that you agree pre-exist the actual Egyptians, that you agree are the people that give the Egyptians their information, except they not no goddamn Nubians. Uh-oh! Except they not no goddamn Nubians. Guys, let me just let y'all know right now. This is why Brother Reggie didn't want me on his tour. Because I'm too damn smart for my own damn good. All praise to the Creator. Because I'm too damn smart for my own damn good. All praises to the Creator. Reggie said, we cannot have this guy on my tour. We cannot have this guy on my tour. Because Reggie knows, family, that I'm too damn smart for my own damn good. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You might be able to fool all of your people all of the time. But you ain't going to never fool me and anybody that studies the word of the Almighty. We're not going for that. So how come, Brother Reggie, if the civilization of Naqada, hold on, let me give you guys some receipts. Hold on. I'm gonna give this workout. Somebody said something? Let me read the comments. Let me see. All right, anyway, let me let you hear what Brother Reggie said again. Let me let you hear what Brother Reggie said again. Remember what Brother Reggie said just now, family. I'm going to let y'all hear it again.
Because the resources are meager.
Facts.
So it is not to
Okay.
do anything more than that. Okay?
No.
And so 50 BC. This is a classic, and very few people know about this as being a classic. Not because she has the eye paint, not because she's called what you call a bird woman, right? Not because she's from Naqada, right? You know why this music? I told you, what's the date?
Oh man, 36.
3650 BC, right?
Yeah.
Right? 3650 BC. This is a classic, and very few people know what you call a bird woman, right? Not because she's from Naqada, right? You know why this museum has this piece of this woman, right? Well, listen, look at her back. Look on her back. Is that symbols or is that writing? That's writing, right? Because there's the falcon Horus, and then there's probably the Seth dog, right? They are writing, or their marks are connected to their writing at 3600, right? So I don't want to argue with the brother about what he was saying about the earliest text and all of that stuff, right? I don't want to argue.
Oh no, I didn't want that.
I don't want to argue that point because on a woman's back is the first writing, right? And this from this is not Egypt. This is not Egypt. This is a civilization before Egypt.
All right, so let me just throw in some common sense real quick because, you know, I'm smart enough to read between the lines and see where people are playing games. Watch this. Brother Reggie, you guys just heard Brother Reggie say that he doesn't want to argue with the brother. He's talking about me, by the way, because remember, I was on that tour. But at this point, I had left the tour because Brother Reggie was crying that I was messing up his tour. Brother Reggie said to them that he didn't want to argue with the brother, meaning me, about who has the oldest writing, because if you look at this woman's back, who's dated to 3650 BC, there's writing on her back. The writing on her back is the name Bet. He even tells you in the video. And he says that it's her name. Brother Reggie, let me be calm and try to find a nice way to say this. Now watch this. Let me be calm and try to do this the right way, right? Let me be calm and try to do this the right way. Because you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be arrogant. You just want to share information. It's not personal. So let me just find the right way to say this. Brother Reggie, that's stupid as hell. The hell are we talking about? I didn't say to you, Brother Reggie, on the tour, I didn't argue with you about who has the oldest writing in Egypt. That's not what I said to you on the tour. I said to you that when the Kemetic teachers push the narrative that the oldest religious writings are in Egypt, that's a farce. I said to you that the pyramid texts date to 2300 BC, and that represents the oldest religious writings in Egypt. And you couldn't disagree with me. You can't disagree with me. None of you can, because it's the facts. Then I said to you, but notice, Brother Reggie, if Kemet's oldest religious writings is the pyramid text, and the year is 2300 BC, then there's no way in hell the Hebrews could have been borrowing or stealing from your culture when we come from a region with the oldest religious writings. In 2300, you have the Akkadians on the world scene. They take over and defeat the Sumerians. All of the Akkadian mythologies come from Sumer, the Atra Hasis, the Epic of Gilgamesh. All of these stories have their root in Sumer, a civilization that goes back to 3500 BC. All of the earliest epics in the region of Mesopotamia have their origin in Sumer. Sumer dies in the era where Kemet's religion is born. So how in the hell could your religious writings be older than anyone in the world when it doesn't even precede the Sumerians? What is contemporary with the religious writings in Egypt is the kingdom of Acadia. Watch this. All facts. No hidden hands here. All facts. No hidden hands here. All facts. Watch this, y'all. 2300 BC. When do the Akkadians come on the world scene? When do they defeat the Sumerians? Go back. Look at the question on the screen. Look at the question on the screen, everyone. The question on the screen is, when did the Akkadians defeat the Sumerians? When did the Akkadians defeat the Sumerians? Look at everybody. 2340 BC. Let me highlight that. 2340 BC is when the Akkadians defeated the Sumerians. Is when the Akkadians defeated the Sumerians. Common sense. Common sense. Can everybody see that? Let me make that bigger. If you guys can't see it, guys, type a 1 in the room because this is for you. I want to make sure you can see it. Can everybody see that? Can everybody see that? I don't know, family, unless y'all tell me. Can everybody see that? Can everybody see that? All right. All right, good. You guys are saying you can see it? Good. Now I can move on. Now look at when the pyramid texts were written. The earliest pyramid texts that we have are from earliest pyramid texts. They're from the pyramid of Unas. From the pyramid of Unas. Does everybody see the year? Does everybody see the year? The pyramid texts are the oldest ancient Egyptian funerary texts dating back to the late Old Kingdom. They are the earliest known corpus of ancient Egyptian religious texts. The oldest of the texts have been dated to 24 to 2300 BC. So watch this. How in the hell can Kemet have the oldest religious writings when the oldest religious writings in Kemet are contemporary with the Akkadians, a people who come after the Sumerians? Now watch this. I'm gonna give out this work today, y'all. Watch this. What are some of the texts in ancient Sumer? What are some of the texts in ancient Sumer? What are the Sumerians writing about? Let's see. What are the literary works in ancient Sumer? Look. Everybody look. Make this nice and big. Make this nice and big. I want everybody to see this. These are the literary works in Sumer. The creation and flood myth. That's in Sumer. So guys, if the Sumerians are talking about creation and a flood myth, that means they have mythologies that precede ancient Egypt. Egyptian mythology is not recorded until the pyramid texts, 2300 BC. But the Sumerians are already talking about creation and a flood story. Uh-oh. We have Enmarker and the Lord of Arata. We have the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's a Sumerian story. The Epic of Gilgamesh. That's a Sumerian story. Enkidu and the Netherworld. The Kesh Temple Hymn. The poems of Inanna and the Mess. The descent of Inanna. Now, look at this. Under it, it says the Akkadian literature. And under the Akkadian literature, it says ancient Egyptian literature. Ancient Egyptian religious literature is contemporary with the Akkadians. Ancient Egyptian religious literature is not contemporary with the Sumerians. The Sumerians have religious literature before anybody in the face of the world. They're talking about a global flood before Egypt even has a religious text. They're talking about Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, of which we encounter the story of Noah. They're talking about divine laws being handed to man in the story of Inanna and the Mess. Let me show you guys what the Kesh Temple Hymn is. Kesh is really Cush, but Europeans don't want you to make the connection, so they say Kesh. Well, we know it's Cush. Just like the Bible say, the earliest Mesopotamian civilization is that of Cush. So watch this. There's something called the Cush Temple Hymn. Let's see what the Cush Temple Hymn talks about. The Cush Temple Hymn is a liturgy to Nintud on the creation of man and woman. It's a Sumerian tablet written on clay tablets that date back to what? 2600 BC. I got a question. I told y'all I was going to give out this work, right? I got a question. I told y'all I was going to give out this work, right? I got a question. How in the hell can Kemet have the oldest religious writings anywhere in the world? How can Kemet I want to make it so that you guys can see it. So just give me a second, y'all, and make sure you guys can see it. I don't want to say anything that you can't see. Try to make this as big as possible. So bear with me. I'm trying to do it in a way where everybody could see it. Okay. The Kesh Temple Hymn dates back to 2600 BCE. That's 2600 BCE. Does everybody see that date? 2600 BCE. I got a question. What religious writing do the Egyptians have in 2600 BC? I got a question. What religious writing do Egyptians have in 2600 BCE? I mean, I know the answer, but I just want to ask the question anyway. Because the answer is none. The earliest religious texts in Egypt are the pyramid texts, and that's 2300 BC. Yet in the region of Sumer, in what is described as the Kesh Temple Hymn, We're already talking about the creation of man. We're already talking about the flood story. You know what the Bible goes into? So why does the Bible need to wait for us to go into Egypt to rob and steal their mythologies when the Bible makes it clear our eponymous ancestor comes from the region of Sumer, a region that has the oldest religious texts in the world? Why do we need to go to Egypt to get secondhand information when we come from a region where all of the information came from originally? That don't make no damn sense. Somebody either lying or don't study history enough. And it's a mix of both, because some of them do know that Sumer has the oldest text, but they're banking on your ignorance. And if you're not studying history, you're helping them. You're helping them. These inscriptions, guys, you guys should know. And when you guys get a chance, you can come and find these things out on your own. When you guys get a chance, you can come and study these things on your own. And you can see for yourself and confirm for yourself the legitimacy of everything that I'm saying. So when you guys get a chance, shout out to Assalam Mahdi for your donation. By the way, family, support the platform, family. Send your brother a donation. Send your brother a donation, family. Support the platform. Support the platform, y'all. Send your brother a donation, man. Thank you very much, Assalam. I see you, my brother. Appreciate it. Family, you can support the platform by hitting me up on PayPal at zionlex@gmail.com or hitting me up on Cash App at $ZionLex with 2 X's. That's $ZionLex with 2 X's, family. Support the platform, family, because the information that I'm giving right now is a game changer. The information that I'm giving right now, family, is a game changer. They can no longer pull the wool over your eyes and play games with you. They can no longer pull the wool over your eyes and play games with you. I am literally giving you enough information so you can see for yourself how these things are represented. And let me show you some more Naqada figurines. This is also from Egypt. This is also from Egypt. So what? Because they're using white stone, that means we're talking about white people? Because they're using white stone, that means we're talking about white people? Shout out to my brother Prolific Pacino, Gadal Ben Yehuda. Salute to you, Aki, for your donation. I got you. Thank you very much, Aki. Salute to you for your donation, man. Much respected. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me ask a question, because Brother Reggie said, hold on. Brother Reggie said, Zion Lex is showing images of Europeans. That's not something of Africa. That's not something you Hebrew Israelites should be trying to tie to the Bible. Zion is trying to get you to be European. Then in the museum, Brother Reggie affectionately says, then when we go to the museums, Brother Reggie says that the culture in Kemet comes from a place called Naqada. And that's where Kemet gets all of her writings. Listen clearly.
This is Naqada. This is Nubian. Egypt gets its information, its early information from Naqada.
All right. This is Naqada. This is Nubia. Ancient Egypt gets her information from Naqada. Okay, Reggie. So let me go online and type in Naqada figurines Egypt. Let me see how the people of Naqada represented themselves. And let's see if it's different from the Sumerians that I just showed you. Let's see if it's different from her. Also, watch this. So what the hell is Brother Reggie talking about? What the hell is Brother Reggie talking about? Somebody tell me, what the hell is Brother Reggie talking about? Because if you study what's called the Naqada figurines, and I'm going to show you again, if you study what's called the Naqada figurines, I'm going to show you again, here is what you get. The moment you pull up what's called the Naqada figurines, you will see how the people, and this is even deeper. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a different beast. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a different beast. As you guys can see, the area of the museum that Brother Reggie in are showing pieces from the Naqada. So let me let the rest play so I can finish giving out the rest of the work.
Let's go look at another area. So here is the kind of Neolithic age. I don't deal with this except for that they were burning their deads with.
They were burning it?
They were burying their dead, right, with artistic, symbolistic items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But here is where it gets really interesting. So here's Naqada vases. And what do you see on the Naqada vases?
All right. Everybody see that Reggie has pulled up the Naqada vases, right? Right? Everybody see that Reggie is pulling up the Naqada vases, right? So watch this. Brother Reggie will make a silly attempt to look at an ivory depiction of a standing worshiper in Mesopotamia and tell you that she's a white woman. Why? Because they're using ivory? How silly, Reggie. Because if I go on to Egypt in the Naqada period, I will also see that they're using ivory. This is what we call Naqada figurines. The early Naqada figurines depict scenery in Kemet. Let me make that smaller. The early Naqada figurines depict scenery in Kemet that looks just like that which you can find in Sumer. So what is Reggie talking about? But I want everybody to look at this right here because this is about to get interesting. Does everybody see that knife that's in the Naqada period of Egypt? Remember what Reggie said! Remember what Reggie said. Egypt gets all of her information from Naqada. Naqada is before Egypt. Does everybody notice this knife from the Naqada 3 period? That knife is called the Gebel el Arak knife. And let me introduce you to real scholarship. I told y'all I'm a different beast. Watch this. Somebody put Reggie in trouble now. Somebody put Reggie in trouble now, and I'm going to tell you, you ain't lying. Because Reggie in trouble right now. Let's look at the Gebel el Arak knife from the Naqada period. The period that Reggie says Egypt gets all her information from. The period that Brother Reggie said precedes that of Egypt. Let's look at a knife handle from that region. I told y'all don't play with me. I told y'all do not play with me. I'm the wrong person to play with. This is from the Naqada period in ancient Egypt. To be exact, the Naqada 3 period. To be exact, the Naqada 3 period. And I want you to zoom in on this. Because I'm not sure if y'all peeped it already. But the man on the knife in the Master of Animal Scenery is clearly a Sumerian. Oh, shit. Woo! Y'all know I want to get up and just done, right? Y'all know I want to get up and just boom! Light this chat room up with some fire emojis. Because y'all just heard Brother Reggie say that the people of Naqada is where Egypt get all their information from. And the people of Naqada precedes the Egyptians. So notice that Brother Reggie, without even realizing that he's agreeing with Zion Lex, he's actually agreeing with Zion Lex. Because Zion agrees that the people who precede the Egyptians in Egypt are the people that bring all the culture and knowledge in that region. Zion Lex says that there's a people that precede the presence of Egyptians in Egypt that are responsible for all of Egypt's culture, traditions, and knowledge. Brother Reggie says that they're Nubians, and that's half right. Brother Reggie said that they're Cushites, and that's half right. But the rest of the information is in the Bible. Because the person that comes to Egypt to give them all their information, he is in fact a Cushite. But this Cushite is a man called Nimrod. You know, who the Egyptians call Narmer, who we proved in our last video. But Nimrod doesn't have his origin or doesn't begin in Ethiopia on the continent of Africa. Nimrod begins in Mesopotamia in a region called Babylon. And the culture that Nimrod has is Mesopotamian, or i.e. Sumerian. And he brings that culture into Egypt. So notice when you look at the Gebel El Arak knife handle, you're going to see an image of a Mesopotamian. Now watch this, because I ain't done. I am not done. Let me prove it to you that this is a Sumerian. Watch this, y'all. Let me prove to you that this is a Sumerian. Y'all ready for this? The image on your left is a Sumerian man. An ivory image of a Sumerian man. The image on the right is the image on the Gebel El Arak knife handle from the Naqada period. And I want you to tell me, somebody tell me, are these different people? But if you could clearly see that in dress and in stylistic art, they have the same Sumerian hat. Ancient Egyptians did not wear beards like this. They have the same Asiatic or Mesopotamian / Sumerian beards. If these are the same people from the same region, light this chat room up with a fire emoji. So notice, y'all, Brother Reggie's actually proving my point. Brother Reggie said, and I'm going to let him say it again. Listen to this, y'all. I'm going to let him say it again.
She's called what you call a bird woman, right? Not because she's from Naqada, right? You know why this museum has this piece of this woman, right? Well, listen, look at her back. Look on her back. Is that symbols or is that writing? That's writing, right? Because there's the falcon Horus, and then there's probably the Seth dog, right? They are writing.
Now, with respect to my brother Nasik Yosef, and with respect to my brother More Kananya, they didn't challenge Reggie on the things that he was saying. And to the respect of Nasik Yosef made it clear that he wasn't even there to challenge. He was there to learn. So he went into that museum tour completely humble. To the extent I'm even sure that when he heard things he disagreed with, he remained silent because he was just there to learn different perspectives, which is intelligent. More Kananya seemed to be challenging Reggie on certain things that he disagreed with whenever he disagreed with. But you'll notice in this video, in this clip, he doesn't challenge Reggie on what Reggie's saying here. And more than likely, that's because he did not know that what Reggie was saying was incorrect. This is why I say that if we're not supporting the people in the community that are doing this type of work, we're losing out. More Kananya is a beast when it comes to archaeology. He has a master's degree from the university in Israel. but he still can't do the work that I'm doing right now. No shade, no diss, just facts. You'll notice in the museum tour, whenever he disagrees with Reggie, he'll point it out and he'll say, I disagree. Notice in this area, which seems to be out of his research zone, he's silent. He's letting Reggie teach. This is why Reggie didn't want me in the tour, because Reggie knows Zion ain't gonna be silent. Zion know all this shit right here. And I'm gonna challenge you every step of the way, and I'm gonna show and prove that what you're saying is incorrect with receipts, not words.
Or their marks are connected to their writing at 3600, right? So I don't want to argue with the brother about what he was saying about the earliest text and all of that stuff, right? I don't want to argue.
Oh no, I didn't want that.
I don't want to argue that point because on a woman's back is the first writing.
Now, I don't know a nice way to say this except to say that was a silly and stupid point, because the point that I made to Reggie was that they have writings in Kemet which date back to 2300 BC. The people of Kemet, their oldest religious writings is 2300 BC. So it's silly to say that that's the oldest religious writings in the world, because as I just showed you, the oldest religious writings are in Sumer, the region that your ancestors come from, Israel. That kills the argument that we plagiarize from them. What Reggie says about the Naqada period. This is the period where Egypt gets all her knowledge, all her information. This is a period where there are people living and dwelling in Egypt who are not Egyptians. Reggie says that they are Cushites or Nubians. And he's partially right, because Nimrod is a Cushite. But Nimrod has his origin, as the Bible lets you know, in Mesopotamia. What's proof of that? There's a city in Mesopotamia which is called Kish, Kish. That's Cush. Europeans are slick. They tried to change the phonetics. They put an I on it to make you think it's not related to the ones in Ethiopia and Africa. But it's the same empire. That's why you always hear me say the Ethiopian empire is the most vast empire the world has ever known, because their empire stretched all the way from Mesopotamia deep into sub-Saharan Africa. Their empire stretched all the way from Mesopotamia all the way to deep sub-Saharan Africa. But here's the problem in the conscious community. You think the culture of Kush begins in sub-Saharan Africa when it begins in Mesopotamia. You can't find any religious writings in sub-Saharan Africa at all during the Naqada period, during the pre-dynastic period. None! But you can find religious writings from Kush in Mesopotamia before it's in sub-Saharan Africa, before it's in the Ethiopia under Egypt, and before it's in Egypt. That lets us know where the Kushite civilization has its origin. It has its origin in Mesopotamia, because that's where you see the people of Kush doing things first, in Mesopotamia, not on the continent of Africa.
And this this is not Egypt. This is not Egypt. This is a civilization before Egypt. This is Naqada. This is.
Everybody just heard Reggie say, this is not Egypt. This is the civilization before Egypt. Everybody just heard Reggie. He said, this is not Egypt. This is the civilization before Egypt. So notice, guys, when you go into prehistoric Egypt, you're going to find all of the items of prehistoric Egypt. And then look, some of the items that you find in prehistoric Egypt contain the same elements you find in Mesopotamia. The Naqada figurine looks just like the standing female worshiper made of ivory in Mesopotamia. Then we have the infamous Gebel el Arak knife, which I'm not even done talking about. On the Gebel el Arak knife, there's a master of animal scenes. Why is there a master of animal scenes? Watch this. Watch this. Remember what the Bible says about Nimrod, family. What was he? A hunter. His name is defined as the leopard hunter. In Mesopotamian culture, as I showed you in my last live, I showed you that in Mesopotamian culture, they posit that Nimrod hunted with leopards, and he used leopards when he hunted. Nimrod dominated every animal in the animal kingdom. So you find him stylized in Egypt and in Mesopotamia, always mastering animals. Therefore, on the Gebel El Arak knife handle, you'll see him holding 2 lions by the mane, which I got to tell you right now, family, in case you didn't know, that is the worst place to grab a lion. If you grab a lion by its mane and you don't know how to kill a lion, prepare to meet your death. On top of that, physically, 1 lion is enough of a struggle for a man. A lion is physically much stronger than a man. So can you imagine that a man is holding 1 lion with his right hand and 1 lion with his left hand at the worst place that you can grab a lion, at the mane? To everybody in the eye view, this man is godlike. And this is why people began to reverence or worship Nimrod, whom Egypt calls Narmer, because his ability to dominate animals, his physical and robust strength, his lack of fear for animals. This begins the worship of this man, because this seems to be not an ordinary man to people. Let's go deeper into the Gebel El Arak knife handle, because I want to show y'all some stuff. You know, I'll be holding back in the community, y'all. I really be holding back in the community, y'all. I really be holding back. Let me show y'all something. Does everybody see what the people on the Gebel El Arak knife handle look like? I want y'all to notice what they look like. Take a very good look. Look at how they're depicted in art. Once you can see what these people look like very clearly, type a 1 in the chat room so I can move on and give you some more. Type a 1 in the chat room so I can move on and give you some more, because I got a hell of a lot more. All right, now watch this. I'm about to bust the conscious community on top of their head. Watch this, family. I'm going to email myself some images so that you guys can see something. Ooh, I'm going to email myself some images because I want you guys to see something. And when y'all see it, y'all going to be like, yo, that's crazy. Watch this. Watch this. Just one more image to email, and then I'm going to show you guys. One more image to email, and I'm going to show you guys. Watch this, y'all. Watch this, y'all. Let me unshare my screen for a moment so I could go into my email. Let me unshare my screen for a moment, y'all, so I could go into my email. By the way, family, y'all should know I do classes throughout the week. The info is on the screen, zionlex@gmail.com. I do classes throughout the week. The info is on the screen, y'all, zionlex@gmail.com. That's zionlex@gmail.com. Get rid of some of this stuff that I have open. All right. All right, watch this, y'all. Watch this. Let me share my screen again. Watch this, y'all. So y'all should be able to see. Y'all should literally be able to see the screen. Let me make that nice and big. All right. Y'all should be able to see this. Now, I asked y'all a question before I stopped, and I said, when everybody could see the images on the screen, type a 1. Remember, these images are on the Gebel El Arak knife handle. Does everybody see that on the left? These images are on the Gebel El Arak knife handle. Does everybody see that? All right, great. Now, remember what Reggie said. Reggie said, matter of fact, let's let Reggie say it one more time.
Marks are connected to that writing at 3600, right? So I didn't want to argue with the brother about what he was saying about the earliest text and all of that stuff, right? I don't want to argue.
Oh no, I didn't know. No.
I don't want to argue that point because on a woman's back is the
Right.
first writing, right? And this from this is not Egypt. This is not Egypt. This was a civilization before Egypt. This is Naqada. This is Nubian. Egypt gets its information, its early information from Naqada.
Everybody heard that. So I went to the Naqada period and I pulled up items from Naqada. And when I pulled up items from Naqada, one of the items that pulled up is the Gebel El Arak knife handle. And when you look at the Gebel El Arak knife handle, you see images of a Sumerian. That's interesting because Brother Reggie is agreeing with Zion Lex and is so lost in his scholarship that he doesn't even realize he's agreeing with me. Because we agree that there's a civilization in Egypt that precedes the Egyptians, from which the Egyptians get all of their knowledge. However, Reggie says that they're Nubian, which is in part true because they are Nubian, they're Cushites. But he's thinking because they're Cushites, being one-dimensional in his research about Cush, he thinks that this must be talking about the Cushites below Egypt in Africa. Because Reggie, like many people in the conscious community, don't study outside their frame of work. So he doesn't know something that even Mfudiji teaches in his books. He doesn't know something that even Mfudiji teaches in his books. Mfudiji has a book entitled Shemsu Heru, Menchu Hotep, and the Spirit of the Magi. He also has a book entitled Menchu Hotep and the Spirit of the Magi. In both of these books, Mfudiji makes it clear that there's a Kushite civilization in Mesopotamia that most people are unaware of. Mfudiji, the grandmaster teacher in the Kemetic conscious community, knows and is fully aware that there's a Kushite civilization in Mesopotamia that most people are not aware of. So, Brother Reggie, we agree, Reggie, that the civilization in Egypt before the Egyptians are the people who give Egypt all of their knowledge. We agree, Brother Reggie, that those people, in a sense, can be described as Kushites or Nubians. Where we disagree, Brother Reggie, and where you need to study more, is you need to notice, Brother Reggie, that these Kushites are in Mesopotamia at this time. They're not in Africa. And here's proof of it. Look at the man on the Gebel El Arak knife handle. Yes, he's a Nubian, but he's a Nubian with the culture of Mesopotamia. Damn, y'all don't study enough in the conscious community. And that's why y'all miss this. Now, focusing clearly on the images, on the Gebel El Arak knife handle, this image to the left, I asked you guys, do you notice what these people look like? And everybody showed a 1. Now let me go to my email. Exhibit A. This is a modern impression of a cylinder seal found at Tel Bila in northern Mesopotamia. The cylinder seal is dated to the Uruk period, 3400 BC. It depicts a Mesopotamian-styled boat. I told y'all don't play with me. I told y'all do not play with me. My scholarship is different. It depicts a Mesopotamian-styled boat. It also depicts the frontal view of what's called a palace facade, which is this right here. The frontal view of what's called a palace facade. Look at the people depicted on the Sumerian seal in 3400 BC, which is the first Uruk or Uruk period, U-R-U-K. Now look at the people on the Gebel El Arak knife handle. Now look at the people on the Gebel El Arak knife handle. All right, let me get rid of some of the trolls because it's hard to focus when you got trolls. So let me get rid of some of the trolls. And let me move on. Okay. Back to the information. I'll address the trolls comment when I'm done. But when you see somebody trolling, you know what it is. These are the people on the Gebel El Arak knife handle, of which I asked everybody to take a nice, good look at them. And you all said you did. And I said, you sure? And you all said that you were sure. So then I said, okay, now I have an image to show you. This image is from Sumer. This image is from Sumer. The year is 3400 BC. And look at the image. You see the same depictions. The same people you see on the Gebel El Arak knife handle are depicted on a Sumerian cylinder seal from 3400 BC. Now watch this. Y'all wanted to get interested? Remember we talked about that Narma palette? Oh man. If y'all not in those classes up there, I don't know what y'all doing. If you're not in these classes right here, I don't know what you're doing. Let me show you something. Remember we talked about that infamous Narmer palette, right? And remember, I showed you something about that Narmer palette. Remember, guys, I said to you that when you look at the Narmer palette, you can see an image of a palace facade. Remember I said that? Remember I said when you look at the Narmer palette, you can see the image of a palace facade. Look, everybody. Look at the image of the palace facade. Now I want you, I got so much stuff open. I got to get rid of some of this stuff, y'all. If I don't get rid of some of this stuff, I can't see the rest of the items that I have on the screen. So let me get rid of some of this stuff, y'all. There we go. This is the image of the palace facade on the Narmer palette. Narmer is showing a temple on his palette in 3100 BC. But come on, y'all, we already know there is no temple in Egypt in 3100 BC. Egypt's first temple is the step pyramid of Saqqara with a temple at the entrance. And it looks just like this. But Narmer is showing some kind of temple on his palette in 3100 BC. What temple could he possibly be showing in 3100 BC in Egypt when there's no temple in Egypt for another 500 years? That's because the temple that Narmer is showing is from the region that Narmer came from. Remember who Narmer is? Nimrod. Nimrod first began in Mesopotamia, where we can see the world's first pyramids. So the image on the Narmer palette of the temple facade is the same temple facade on a Sumerian cylinder seal that goes back to 3400 BC. What the hell are we even talking about? Want to get deeper? Look at the Sumerian style boats on the temple. Remember, Mesopotamian, Sumer is a port city. Remember, Sumer is a port city. To get to Sumer, Sumer is surrounded by the Tigris and Euphrates River, which makes it a major port city. That's why in much of their mythology, you find boats. But guess what? If you know Egypt, especially in the Naqada period, you know you see a whole bunch of boats in their iconography. Even in the video that Brother Reggie is given, watch, guys.
Now let's go look at another area. So here is the kind of Neolithic age. I don't deal with this except for that they were burying their deads with.
They were burning it?
They were burying their dead, right, with artistic, symbolistic items.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Naqada vases. And what do you see on the Naqada vases on the side? What do you remember? This is not Egypt yet. This is Naqada. What do you?
Reggie said, this is not Egypt yet. This is Naqada, and he's absolutely right. But I want everybody to focus on the vase because you can see the same Sumerian style boats right on it. Now the question is this something that Brother Reggie missed, or is he purposely not going into it?
Right. No. Besides writing, over here, the one that's furthest. What do you see?
The boat?
The boat? Yeah, on the boat.
All right, everybody see his confirm that this is a boat, right? So in the Naqada period, you find the Sumerians. In the Naqada period, you find Sumerians. You also find the Sumerian style boats. Thank you, Brother Reggie. So where are we in the conversation right now? What have I been proving the last hour? This is why y'all should either sign up for our classes or join my Patreon. You can sign up for our classes at zionlex@gmail.com, or you can become a Patreon subscriber where we share information there as well. But there's far more information in the classes. I want you to know that. You'll get more information in the classes. But on Patreon, you'll get more information than what I share on YouTube. Now watch this. Brother Reggie is confirming everything that I'm saying. And guys, I'm not even done. Because this is just exhibit A. The palette that you see, the palace facade on the Narmer palette, is the same palace you see featured in Sumer in 3400 BC. But hold on, y'all, because I know I told you I'm not done yet. The Gebel El Arak knife shows you a hero subduing 2 wild animals. It runs parallel with the Uruk period in Mesopotamia. So guys, the Naqada period in Egypt, you know, the period that you just heard Brother Reggie say is not Egypt yet. During that period in Sumer, you already have a swelling, dense population in the city of Uruk. You already have a temple. You already have religious texts. You already have religious ceremonies. You already have pyramids. You already have temples. And I'm not done. There's something called the Instructions of Shuruppak in Sumer that dates to 2600 BC. Egypt's oldest wisdom text is called the Maxims of Ptah Hotep. And I have that somewhere here. The Maxims of Ptah Hotep. I got that somewhere here. All right, I don't know where it is now, but the Maxims of Ptah Hotep date to 2400 BC. It's a wisdom text where a father is communicating to his son all the things that he wishes that his son should do in order to maintain a life of morality. And this would ensure that the son, who is a prince, because the father is a king, would keep the throne. So he has to live a life of high morality. But that has its origin in Mesopotamia. Remember, guys, even in the Proverbs 31, in Proverbs 31, King Solomon is giving instructions to his son. Remember, O Lemuel, it is not wise for kings to drink wine. King Solomon has a certain set of instructions that he's sharing with his son. The people in Egypt say he stole that from the Maxims of Ptah Hotep. How is that possible when the Maxims of Ptah Hotep date to 2400 BC? But the instructions of Shuruppak and Sumer date to 2600 BC. So, in the region where King Solomon's ancestors come from, i.e. Abraham, we already have these types of texts. Now let's look at this. This is what I was showing you earlier. This is what's called the Cush Temple Tablet. Does everybody see this? If you can see this clear, type a 1 in the room. If you can see this clear, family, type a 1 in the room. Shout out to Movie Mania for your donation, Aki. I see you. Thank you very much. Type a 1 in the room, family, if you can see this very clear. Until you do that, I don't know if you can see this clear. So please, family, type a 1 in the room if you can see this clear. Okay. The Kish Temple Tablet, everybody can see, is in Sumer. Does everybody see that? Does everybody literally see that it says that it's in Sumer? All right. Look at the year, 3200 BC. Look at what it says. Earliest known writing. Now let's read. The Kish tablet is inscribed with proto-cuneiform signs. It has been dated to the Uruk IV period. Time out. In 3350 BC, the city of Uruk is already in its 4th stage of growth and development as a dense population with spiritual texts, religious texts, and writing. When in 3300 BC, Kemet don't even got a pyramid. no religious writings, no texts. And in fact, the only thing we can find in Kemet during this period, because it's the Naqada period, are items from Sumer still. So how come by now y'all can't figure out that Sumer is the oldest when it comes to this? How come you can't figure out by now that Sumer is the oldest when it comes to this? And then add to that the Bible makes it clear that Abraham has his origin in Sumer. And I'm still not done. The Epic of Gilgamesh dates to what? 2700 BC. 2700 BC. The Epic of Gilgamesh lets you know about the creation of man. It also lets you know about the flood story. The year is 2700 BC. It's a Sumerian epic. Egypt don't have religious writings until 2300 BC. So 400 to 500 years before Egypt has any religious writing, our ancestors in Mesopotamia are already speaking about the creation of man via clay, a 7-day creation. They're already speaking of man called in the Sumerian tongue, Adamu, which the Bible calls Adam, but they say Adamu. They also speak about the flood story. They speak about Noah. At this time, Egypt ain't doing no talking because they don't have no religious texts in this time. This is why I'm dangerous. This is why they want to form like Voltron against your brother. Because they know that what I'm saying cannot be challenged. Not even a little bit. They know that what I'm saying cannot be challenged. Not even a little bit. Don DeMarco, Don DeMarco, because they know that what I'm saying cannot be challenged, not even a little bit. This is why I say, family, support your brother and the work that he's putting out. Support your brother and the work that he's putting out, because when you check the scoreboard, we up. Facts. Listen to what I'm saying. Support your brother because you know he's putting in serious work. Because when you check the scoreboard, he's putting in a lot of work. A lot of work. But guess what? He's also MVP. Nah, that's arrogant, Zion. Don't say that. He's also MVP. Nah, don't do that, Zion. Don't do that. Listen, I give all glory to the Creator. I am nothing without the Creator. But what we're not about to do is play me like my work is irrelevant. You're not about to marginalize my work like it ain't a big thing, a big deal. You see, it's sad that I have to speak about my own work. You know what they say? Man never gives you your flowers when you can smell them. Sometimes you got to grab them flowers and bring it to your nose yourself. Because if you wait on man, he'll never give you those flowers while you can smell them. Now, I'm sure there's some people out there that's arrogant, that's arrogant. Feel how you want to feel. But one thing I know for sure, people won't give you your credit till you're gone. God forbid Zion leaves today, you're going to see 100 videos go up in the Israelite community from people you know don't mess with me. And more importantly, you know I don't mess with. Oh, Zion was the man when it came to this. Zion was the man. Where all their videos now? Oh, Zion was the best at this. He was the best at that. How come they not in these chat rooms? Because I'll be in the chat rooms of all the Israelite teachers, cheering them on. How many Israelite teachers do you see coming in this chat room to cheer the brother on? So if I wait for them to give me my roses, I'm never going to get it. With that being said, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. I hope you enjoy the work. I ask that you guys continue to support the platform. Shout out to everybody that has been supporting, that is supporting. And I want to say this to you. If you're not a member of this class right here, I don't know what you're doing. If you are not a member of this class right here, I don't know what you're doing. Because this class right here, family, is serious. Serious. Now, I got a couple more death blows, but I want to be honest with y'all. I can't drop the rest of the information that I have until I'm sitting down with one of them. Why? Because unlike them, I don't shadow box. I box for real, for real. I want you to sit with me as I'm busting you on your head so that the people see that you are without defense. Shock mate. Checkmate. The word checkmate has its origin in the Sanskrit term shock mate, which means the king is without defense. For the last components of my information, I have to sit down with a competent teacher in the conscious community. I need a grand master teacher. I need somebody that's bad. Then I'm going to bust them over the head with this information. And when you see that they can't defend it, you will know that we reached shock mate. The king is without defense. Checkmate.